Highly cohesive groups and teams are often very successful at meeting their goals, although they sometimes have serious difficulties as well. One problem that can occur is groupthink. Groupthink is a mode of thinking that occurs when members of a group are deeply involved and cohesive in group, and the desire for unanimity offsets the motivation to appraise alternative courses of action. When groupthink occurs, then, the group unknowingly makes unanimity rather than the best decision its goal. Individual members may perceive that raising objections is not appropriate. Groupthink can occur in many decision-making situations in organizations. The current trend towards increasing use of teams in organizations may increase instances of groupthink because the susceptibility of self-managing teams to this type of thought is steep. The three primary conditions that foster the development of groupthink are cohesiveness, the leader's promotion of his or her preferred solution, and insulation from the group from expert opinion. Based on an analysis of the disaster associated with the explosion of Space Shuttle Challenger in 1986, the original idea of groupthink symptoms was enhanced to include the effects of increased time pressure and the role of the leader in not stimulating critical thinking in developing the symptoms of groupthink. A group in which groupthink has taken a hold exhibits 8 well-defined symptoms. Let's take a look. First, an illusion of invulnerability, shared by most or all of the members, that creates excessive optimism and encourages extreme risk-taking. Second, collective efforts to rationalize and discount warnings that might lead members to reconsider assumptions before recommitting themselves to the best policy decisions. Third, an unquestioned belief in the group's inherent morality, inclining members to ignore the ethical and moral consequences of their decisions. Fourth, stereotyped views of enemy leaders as too evil to warrant genuine attempts to negotiate or as too weak or stupid to counter whether risky attempts are made to defeat their purposes. 5. Direct pressure on a member who expresses strong arguments against the group's stereotypes, illusions, or commitments, making clear that such dissent is contrary to what is expected of loyal members. 6. Self-censorship of deviations from the apparent group consensus, reflecting each member's inclination to minimize the importance of his or her doubts and counterarguments. 7th, a shared illusion of unanimity, resulting partially from self-censorship of deviations, augmented by the false assumption that silence means consent. And finally, 8th, the emergence of self-appointed mind guards, members who protect the group from adverse information that might shatter the shared complacency about the effectiveness and morality of their decisions. When groupthink dominates group deliberations, the likelihood increases that decision-making defects will occur. The group is less likely to survey a full range of alternatives and may focus only on a few, often just one or two. The group may not re-examine previously rejected alternatives for non-obvious gains or some means of reducing apparent costs. Even when they receive new information, the group may reject expert opinions that run counter to its own views and may choose to consider only information that supports its preferred solution. Several suggestions have been offered to help managers reduce the probability of groupthink in decision-making. These prescriptions fall into 4 categories, depending on whether they apply to the leader, the organization, the individual, or the process. All are designated to facilitate the critical evaluation of alternatives and discourage single-minded pursuits of unanimity.